What is home? What does it look like, feel like, sound like? For most of us, home is a fleeting memory. Home is a fragmented dream that we dare to remember. Tonight on B-Sides, we welcome special guests bound together through stories of movement and belonging in the face of today's anti-immigrant global atmosphere. Rooted in the silt of Sudan and Nubia, inspired by the eastern coast of Africa, it is my honor to introduce Alsarah and the Nubatones. I'm Selam, sound artist, filmmaker, and fellow proud East African immigrant, and it is my pleasure to have them and you in our studio for an hour of performance and surreal conversation. Stay tuned.
شفت الحبايب قاموا قالوا السلام يا يما شفت الحبايب قاموا قالوا السلام سيادة الحضارة سيادة الطيبة سيادة الإيمان يا يما شفت الحبايب قاموا قالوا السلام رد السلام
Thanks, guys.
Salam, salam, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
for being
much.
here.
Oh, yeah, I don't use that now.
How are you guys?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, welcome you guys. Thanks for being here.
You all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Guys is a gender neutral term.
I know, it's applicable for everyone.
Exactly.
Okay,
Those are
fine.
for all guys.
Salam Nubia, the first song, the opening song, Salam, meaning peace.
Well, I mean, I think for me with peace, I don't know, it's different for different people. For me with this song in particular, Selam Nubia, it's like a welcoming song, a greeting song. Communication can't happen if there is no peace. So you have to open any sort of happy occasion with some of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So this song is kind of like the welcome song. And it's
Yeah.
your song.
And welcome everyone. So start off if you'd like to introduce yourself and then introduce the band.
Sure. My name is Alsarah. We are the Nubatones. The Nubatones are Mawena Kujovi on bass and vocals and trumpet. Rami Al-Asir on percussion and vocals.
Salam.
Brendan Terzik on oud. Nahid with me on vocals. And we are bringing you Sudanese and Nubian inspired East African retro pop. Yeah.
And the East African retro pop. Do you want to break that down? East African retro pop.
Well, it's retro pop. And let's start with that part, you know? It's music, it's pop music that's based in tradition, based in olden time music. It just happens to come from East Africa, and so boom, there it is. It's so easy.
Yeah, yeah. And the way that you can get tradition to relive itself and enter the modern world in a way that that stays alive. I think you and the band does such an amazing job in making sure that that memory is still here and that we're still referencing things from the past. Before we get on to the next song, Ayan
Tavan. Ayan Tavan.
Yeah.
Sick and tired with love.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the story of how you made the song and the girls that shared it with you?
I actually learned this song a few years ago out at a refugee camp called Yusuf Battle in an area called Maban between North Sudan and South Sudan. This song was written by 3 little girls, Muna and her friends, who taught it to me. And it's a love song. It's just like a simple love song about, you know, being sick and tired with love, and even if you bring me a doctor, I still won't be okay because I'm so in love, and my lover is far away from me. And I mean, the song is really simple, but really beautiful and really sweet. And I think for me, the time that I spent with them out there was amazing in terms of musically enriching. I learned so much new music. And so much of it original music written by a lot of the people that taught it to me, including these 3 little girls who were like 11 to 15. And I just thought it was amazing that in the midst of a refugee camp and so much intense, what would be called desperation, they were writing these beautiful little light love songs. And it gave me so much affirmation and also such a sense of belonging, you know, because my relationship with Sudan has always been really tense. I think for a lot of people who have left home forcibly, there is this sense of rejection you battle with when you're older. I don't know, maybe it's just me and I'm being emo, but
No, it's not just you.
but you know, it's like that you battle with, and for me, it's, you know, especially with a place like Sudan, it's such a conservative place, and there's so much love there, but there's such a tense, how do you go home, how do you not go home? And I think a lot of immigrants feel it, like when they, you know, there's that saying, anything you touch, you change, and anything, you know, that you change changes you. And that's with travel and moving and leaving and rerouting. And so coming home becomes always more and more complicated. So for me, with these girls, they gave me a sense of coming home.
Right, right. And without further ado, here is Ayan Taban.
Do it.
Ayan وحيدة ما يدرى بها الزمن الشجر جف لما اتهدى الجذع اتشقق واتكسر وين يا وطن وين يا زمن غضبان من سنين تتمطى وتفلك بجبينك بالألم وين يا وطن وين يا زمن غضبان من سنين تتمطى وتفلك بجبينك بالألم دمك يسيح أنهار ملح وأنا جنبك برد عطش حاولت أشرب الفجأة أبكي المرارة الما بتتبلع وين يا وطن وين يا زمن غضبان من سنين تتمطى وتفلك بجبينك بالألم وين يا وطن وين يا زمن غضبان من سنين تتمطى وتفلك بجبينك بالألم حبي لك زي العشرة والشجر قلب جذب حبي لك زي العشرة والشجر قلب جذب ماشيين سوا نفتش مطرة وين يا وطن وين يا زمن غضبان من سنين تتمطى وتفلك بجبينك بالألم وين يا وطن وين يا زمن غضبان من سنين تتمطى وتفلك بجبينك بالألم
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
And that second song, Ya Watan, I'd like to talk a bit about that one. I was able to get a little bit of a translation, so I'm going to translate it, even though I'm sure it sounds so much better in Arabic. Ya Watan, where is the homeland? Where is the time? Angry from years that stretch and hit it across the face with pain. Your blood runs rivers of salt while I die of thirst next to you. I tried to drink until I imploded, crying the bitterness that I can't be swallowed. Where is the homeland? Where is the time, angry from years that stretch and hit it across the face with pain? My love for you, just like companionship and the trees, has become waterless. We go together in search of rain. And that was the second song that we played after. And I'd like to talk a bit about that one because where we are today, this week, these past few weeks, this year, last year, everything, we're questioning what it means to be home. And I think your music and a lot of music and what music can do is get us to identify with something that is conceptual and borderless, but also let us know that we are fragmented beings that might not have a home, and maybe that's okay. What do you have to say about that?
I used to always feel like a fragmented being, that maybe it's okay to not have a home, but more and more recently I'm beginning to realize that the issue we feel like we can't find a home is that we're intersectional beings that are trying to squeeze ourselves into homogenous concepts of home, and that's not how we work as humans. We are intersectional. Everything in the world that is around us right now is intersectional. Everything that's happening, it's not one isolated incident. It's not just the travel ban. It's Standing Rock and the travel ban and the Black Lives Matter and the, and the health issues and the education issues. And this is something that is happening globally. This idea that we're seeing, the concept of the nation state that tried to create one concept of a national, failing over and over and over, because humans are not one-dimensional beings. We're intersectional, multidimensional beings, and so it doesn't work that way. It just will never work that way.
I agree.
That was that.
Yeah, and that leads us to Fulani, the song you played after, where you ask, why can't we be like birds without map or a passport?
Yeah.
And again, with music and how that can allow us to feel completely free, where we don't need to identify or define.
Yeah, and where we can also feel completely anchored. For me, music has always been like the safety space where you can explore your ideas of everything freely, including who you are. And that doesn't have to be a stagnant thing. It never should be a stagnant thing.
I agree. And is there, I know that specifically, as much as we're all going through it, specifically the 6 countries that were banned would you like to speak on what is currently going on in terms of the ban?
In
terms of not being allowed to come back into the States if you don't have a visa.
Well, it's interesting because I'm a citizen. So, but I'm a student. It says on my passport that I was born in Sudan, and so my entitlement to my passport was always questioned at the border, including at the border coming in here before Trump was around. So to me, this isn't new. This is not new at all. And for every Sudanese person that I know, getting rejected from a visa is a really normal thing, and I think for a lot of people. And again, I go back to the idea that this travel ban is not an isolated, singular thing. It's actually it's part of a bigger problem. It's part of a big business supremacist regime takeover that's happening in front of everybody, and that started years ago. It's just kind of coming to fruition at the moment. Right. So the travel ban is an unfortunate reality that has been a long time coming.
I agree. And back to the album, we have our next song, which is Manara, which is the title track to the album. Would you guys like to talk to us about the process of making the album?
Yeah, we actually took a creative sabbatical in Morocco in last year, and we created this album, and it was also when people were talking about the quote-unquote refugee crisis, and I don't know, we're all people that kind of started off in different places and ended up in different places, and I think a lot of people in New York and kind of in the US can identify with that through generations. But in this journey of life, it's like, for me, my story started on the banks of the Nile, you know, like in Khartoum, and then from there it kind of moved and turned. And as I met different people, as I moved and went, there's one thing I've always understood that we all have in common, which is that we just want to be remembered. We just want someone to remember us. That's why we're having families, we have babies, we have, you know, we make art, we do all of that. And I think that's even why we make war. We want to make sure someone is remembering us as being right. And for me, though, this tumultuous journey, there should always be a moment when you need to rest, a moment when you need to pour out your secrets and speak. And for me, that moment of rest has always happened by the Nile. And so for me, it's always been sort of like the anchor and the lighthouse in the journey. So Manara, it's the title track from the album, because it's about a moment of serenity in the middle of the storm. So like, you know, like we spoke about it before, it's almost hopeful, but it's not. It's realistic, but it is hopeful in the sense of like it's getting ready to move forward. So Manara means the lighthouse.
Yeah, and it keeps us moving.
Yeah.
يا من نعرف شاطئ نرس في ظل عيونك ونصب أسرار رحلتنا الدايرة بين عيونك يا دنيا سرابك جذاب حضن حبايبك غدار دنيا سرابك جذاب حضن حبايبك غدار
Thank you. And you already know this, that's my favorite song on the album, so I'm very excited to hear it. And Nara means fire.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something that it really evokes this energy, this call to action almost. And additionally with that megaphone effect, it kind of has that mood that you're just like screaming it out into the streets, getting everybody to like come out into the streets and feel like we're out here together. I got a bit of a translation on there as well. They said, be patient with poverty. Heaven will be yours. Force fed you with opium and stole what was between your hands. When you woke up and protested the banks of colonization, refused the economic powers, refused this slavery, bang on the drum and light the fires. The Hakmat sang a song of war that can't be marched. You who walks the night and walks past my door, take my longing with you to my home. And what is the Hakmat, first of all?
Oh, Hakamat. Hakamat are a kind of singers and tribe poetry. Like, I don't know how to explain them. Their role, the Hakamat are from Western Sudan, from the Darfur area, and they are basically the voice of war in the tribe, but it's not the voice of war. I don't know how to explain it, because that sounds really violent, and that's not what they do. But they sing the epic battle songs. That's a better way. Yeah. English is coming. Yeah. They sing the epic epic battle songs. They sing a lot of the anthemic songs that kind of praise the bravery of the men of the tribe, and they are oftentimes a lot of the wisest voices in the tribe, and tend to be older women, and they have a very powerful and important role in the tribe itself, in the public sphere.
Right.
So the Hakamat usually, if they demand a call to war, war will happen. So that their battle cry is a powerful one.
And in Ethiopia we have something similar called the shilala, and it gets you riled up and ready for war. And this war isn't. I mean, it's defense almost in a way to defend your homeland, defend where you come from, defend. What in Nar? What are you defending?
Well, for me, I feel like. I don't know, this is an anthemic song, and for me, I wrote it because I felt like, even in today's age, so my first tape that I got when I was like 4 was this tape that was being passed around underground in Sudan in like 1986, and it was a tape that was put together by a collective of leftist writers and creatives, led by a musical director and a choir and poets, and they wrote this amazing body of musical work that was kind of encouraging people to vote, letting people know about their rights, and it was really anthemic, and I loved this tape. And I memorized it from front to back. My parents are activists, so I grew up marching with them, and I felt like we really needed a song like that today, because I felt like oftentimes you're told to be patient with a lot of inevitable poverty, with your options being either colonization or some sort of fascist statehood. And so what are these options? These are not options. This is not who we are. This is not what we're supposed to be. That is not, all these institutions that were put into place to protect our humanity keep failing us over and over. And so it's time to ask some questions.
Right, right.
So that was what that song was about.
Yeah, and you could feel it. You could feel it, definitely. I want to talk a bit about the band fully and the relationship amongst you guys together. I know your sister is in the band as well. What's it like to be touring with your sister and performing?
Awesome.
Yeah.
It is. It's really fun. I mean, we're like a musical family. This band actually I started with Rami, is how we all started together. And then we brought in Mowena. And before Brandon, we had Brandon's teacher, Haig Manukian, who was all of our teachers. And he passed away a few years ago and was replaced by Brandon. And so this band is like, it's a musical family. We're an old school band.
Right,
you know, we arrange everything together, we tour together, we fight together, we cook together. I'm banned from making breakfast because I keep oversalting eggs. So, you know.
Are there particular favorite songs on the album from each of you guys? I'm going to give you guys all a chance to speak, if possible.
I also like Nara. I'm glad Nara made it on. There was a moment where Nara was like kind of on the cutting edge.
Yeah, I was totally on the chopping
and
board.
I'm glad, especially with what's going on right now, that did come on.
Yeah, I almost want to play Nara again.
Yeah, when we first wrote Nar, I kept telling Rami, I was like, I'm going to call it the IMF song.
And I know you recently did a Tiny Desk concert at NPR, and you also did an interview with NPR. And there's a quote on the interview that you did with NPR that I'd like to bring back, because I think, similar to Nar, it evokes this empowerment that happens when you have so many oppressed identities. It's easy to feel like a victim, and it's justified to feel like a victim, but it's also, it could bring you down, and there's an empowerment that is in your music and is also just in the way that you guys keep moving, and that is, I wasn't from any one place anymore. Sudanese people said I wasn't Sudanese enough. Arabs said I wasn't an Arab. Americans said I wasn't American. I used to be like, I don't belong anywhere. Now I'm like, you're all mine, all my countries, you're all mine.
It's true, you are all mine. I forgot to mention that on your way in. It's a wrap.
Okay, well, moving forward, we are going to play, well, this is not on Manara, but this is going to be, this is a remake. I mean, it's a traditional song that is constantly remade into contemporary music. And do you want to talk a little bit about Nubanutu?
Yeah, Nubanutu is a Nubian song, a traditional Nubian song. I like to think of it as the unofficial Nubian anthem. And actually, when the Nubatones started as a project, it started as a conversation between Rami and I about the songs of return. He was writing his thesis on modern Egyptian culture at the time. I won't bring up your thesis again, I promise.
No, I'll bring it up. Modern Egyptian culture. Tell me
No,
more.
no. We're not allowed to talk about it anymore. It's over. That time is
It's a
over.
good bedtime story.
So for me, this song felt like one of the most anthemic songs. Nubian people kind of experienced a huge modern-day displacement that happened in the late 1960s with the building of the High Dam, and there's still dams being built today, actually. And so, for me as an immigrant who is also Nubian, we were talking about listening to these songs now as an immigrant in another space, and relating to those songs of return that were written after the dam was built, and they were songs about a home that you can't go back to. So relating to that now as immigrants in another place. It had a really interesting perspective. So to me, I feel like the song is one of the anchors of that, of the band, if you will.
And specifically, you're East African, you're Sudanese, but you're very specifically Nubian too. Do you want to talk a bit about what it means to be specifically Nubian?
Well, so Nubia is like this area between North Sudan and South Egypt, and it used to be one area, and then when British colonization happened, and then Sudan became a separate country from Egypt, they kind of put like a line in the middle. So there's like a line that goes through half the town. So Nubian people kind of grew up between both areas. You know, my family grew up between Egypt and Sudan. My grandmother was born and raised in Egypt and lives there now. But the rest of my family all lives in Sudan, and so we they kind of run between the two between Sudan and Egypt very easily. And for me, being Nubian is a part of my being Sudanese. Sudan, there's like 57 major tribes, not counting sub-tribes in Sudan. Ethiopia, 80. Kenya, 48, I think. Uganda, I think it was like 20 something. I can't remember. But you know, so diversity is the norm in Africa. It is the norm. And the modern day borders that were set up into place don't really fully express what it means to be from that one place. And that's, I think, why there's so much identity conflict, identity and resource-based conflict happening all over Africa and soon all over the world. So it's learn. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like you look in the past to learn about your present. That's how you move forward. So you can't go forward if you don't know about where you're from. So Nubanutu. So yeah, this is the anthem of the Nubian folks. You guys, there's this is the last song. So if you feel like making noise, the worst case scenario is that they'll kick you out after the show. Yeah, they can't interrupt the live taping. Just kidding. But really, it's better when you're having fun.
يركي الويرة من لوني أصلنا ويرة من لوني لغينا ويرة من لوني أصلنا ويرة من لوني يا حلفنجو ويرة من لوني يا محاسنجو ويرة من لوني يا دنجلجو ويرة من لوني وناونجو ويرة من لوني يا تمسنجو ويرة من لوني يا كنسنجو ويرة من لوني جبالنجو ويرة من لوني وسودانجو يا نوبنجو سودانجو نوبنجو سودانجو نوبنجو سودانجو نوبنجو سودانجو يركي الويرة من لوني ونوبانوتو ومسكينوتو نوبا جواهيشتنا ما ننتو لدرنا ونوبانوتو ومسكينوتو نوبا جواهيشتنا.
Thanks, guys. Yay.
Thank you. And before we close off, how do we keep up with you? What's next? Are you on tour? What's going on?
Yeah, we are. We're going on tour in Europe in the middle of March. We're going to start in France, March 16th. You can follow us on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, and all that good jazz, and
DC
Instagram.
tomorrow night?
Yeah, we're going to be in DC tomorrow night. If you guys know anyone in DC, tell your friends to tell their friends to come.
We
to
can all
DC.
carpool and head over to DC.
Yeah, that's not
All
tomorrow.
information found at Alsarah and the Nubatones.
Yeah, Alsarah and the Nubatones on Facebook, Alsarah 5000 on Twitter, Alsarah and the Nubatones also on Instagram. So just follow us along. We update stuff on our website, but yeah.
Yeah, and BRIC is also going to be doing a profile on Alsarah and the Nubatones. So look out for that. It'll be a good 15 minutes or so of just full-on story and more interpretations and more dialogue and more access, and everything you'll have more from BRIC and Alsarah and the Nubatones. So our segment is coming to an end, but before we close out, I'd like to give a big thanks to our guests, Alsarah and the Nubatones. Thank you for sharing the music and stories of Manara. You can rewatch this and all past episodes of B-Sides on our YouTube channel at the link below. Also, check out our SoundCloud page on BRIC Radio. I'm your host, Selam Bekele, and thanks for tuning in. Stay safe and good night, Brooklyn.